Hey everyone, it's Nicole. Andrew. Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I have the newest collection from Holo. This is their new Magnetic Attraction collection for Valentine's Day 2026. For the Magnetic Attraction collection, we have 5 new magnetic nail polishes. We have a new chunky glitter nail polish, and probably most exciting for the rest of y'all, bless you. Probably most exciting for the rest of you, we have a new horseshoe style magnet from the brand. I feel like all of the indie and boutique brands are releasing these horseshoe style magnets, and I'm kind of here for it. The Magnetic Attraction collection is available right now on the Holo website, which I of course have linked in the description box. None of the polishes in this release are considered limited edition, and neither is the new magnet. I will get into all of the pricing and sale information for the end of the video as always. All of the polishes featured in today's video were gifted to me by Holo, and this video is not sponsored. Thank you very much, Holo, for gifting me these polishes. So as always, in the description box, links where you can pick these polishes up, links to the brand's website, social media pages, my social media pages, and of course, timestamps as well. Let's just get right into the video. So Holo is calling their new horseshoe style magnet their super magnet. I'm fairly confident that it is indeed a 30-pound horseshoe style magnet. For the horseshoe style magnet, this is like industrial strength magnetization. So this, if you have any kind of like pacemakers or any kind of like metallic gadgetry inside of your body, you probably don't want to be messing with this.
Safety is sexy. Because
of the shape of this magnet as well as the strength of it, it does a really fantastic job giving the velvet effect for your nails, which if you've been in the nail polish space for any amount of time, you would know the past like 2-ish years, we've all been obsessed with the velvet effect for magnetization. The Holo magnet has the Holo branding on both sides of the magnet. So I found it magnetizes really nicely. I'll be showing it used for all of the swatches in this entire video. I don't find that it magnetizes any differently than my other horseshoe style magnets. This is gonna be one of those kind of products, if you don't already have a horseshoe style magnet, this is a really solid one to have, but just know there isn't gonna be any like real differences between all of the various horseshoe style magnets. So which ones you get is just gonna depend on what brand you like the most and your budget. I'm gonna start this out a little bit differently than I normally do. I usually do this in alphabetical order. I'm actually gonna go in, I wanna talk about the chunky glitter nail polish first order. Now I do what I want. So first up we have Sweetheart Taco. Holo describes this as a small and mini pink holographic heart-shaped glitters in a clear base. So Sweetheart Taco thankfully had a fantastic formula. I did not find the base to be overly thick or thin. I had 0 application issues with it. So for this video, I'll be showing it swatched in 1 coat over black, and I'll also have some pop-ins of it swatched over all of the polishes in this release. For my full hand swatches, I have it in 1 coat. What the hell is this polish called again? I forgot the name, so I'm just gonna put the name here. So as I was playing around with this particular one, I found that this applies what I basically expected from a chunky glitter nail polish. They sink a little bit. You don't need to fish for the glitters at all. I really wanted to get a really good feel of this particular shade, so I did not run this one through my nail polish shaker before I swatched it. I alternated between all of my swatches of swatching it, of just letting it sit on my desk, as well as having the bottle upside down. For my full hand swatches, I did swatch that one after letting the bottle sit upside down for about 10 minutes, and I did get out significantly more hearts after holding it upside down for 10 minutes, but like that's to be expected. So for this particular shade, to get the most hearts out, I would definitely recommend giving it a really good shake or having the bottle sit upside down for a few minutes before you apply it. For this particular shade, I also played around with application styles. My normal go-to for applying chunky glitter toppers, I prefer to do kind of like a zhuzhing motion with my brush, where I get a good bead on my brush of both the nail polish itself as well as a lot of the glitter, and I just kind of like push the brush around like so to really get the glitters in the spots that I want them to be, so I don't have any like real bald spots. For my live swatch application, I wanted to see how this applied of just like brushing the polish on. In my personal opinion, I don't think chunky glitter polishes really perform the best if you just brush them on as like a normal polish would, because you're just gonna brush the glitters off of your nail. That's pretty standard for chunky glitters. For this particular polish, you can definitely choose to do glitter placement where you just individually place every glitter that you want them for, like, I suppose, a more aesthetically pleasing look.
boring.
That's not what I do. I don't like that. I like the added chaos of not knowing how it's going to turn out until I've done it. But for my full hand swatch, I definitely got out a lot of glitters. I really like how there's a good mix between like the larger hearts and the smaller hearts, because you don't get as many like dead spots of like nothingness there. They did a really good job of adding like a ton of glitters to this particular polish. I'm really pleased with it. I still have the polish on my swatch hand right now because I just swatched it this morning, and I did find that one layer of the Holo Taco glossy top coat smoothed these out perfectly. It's been about 4 hours since I put this one on my nails with one layer of top coat, and it's perfectly smooth still. I can feel some very slight texture, but not enough texture that I would say I would definitely need to have another layer of top coat on here, which is also really amazing. Like, these glitters lay down really flat. Holo Taco got some really good glitters for this one. Removal, however, is going to be on the more difficult side if you choose to scrub this one off. I would not recommend it. Definitely use the soak off method or a peel off base coat for the easiest removal. The next polish up is called Flirt Alert, and Holo Taco describes it as a raspberry pink base with a light pink magnetic pull and scattered holographic. As someone who was complaining just a few months ago about there not being any like really good pink magnetic polishes, they're just like a pink base with pink magnetic, this was fantastic.
It's about damn time.
This is very much like the Pink Lovers magnetic nail polish. The formula of Flirt Alert was also fantastic. I did not find the base to feel overly thick or thin. Again, zero application issues. This is actually one of the magnetic polishes in this collection that I would say was indeed a one coater on me. I wouldn't recommend wearing it in one coat and then choosing to magnetize it, because I'd have to imagine it would shear out quite a bit. But if you don't want to magnetize the shade, I feel like you could indeed get away with just one coat. For my full hand swatches, I did swatch this one out in 2 coats, and then I added a 3rd coat to magnetize it. That's my general preference on magnetizing nail polishes. I always build them up to full opacity first, and then I add another coat to magnetize it. If you're new to magnetizing nail polishes, you don't have to do that. Basically, the only rules for magnetizing nail polish is hold the magnet on for at least 30 seconds. I found this magnetized super duper easily for me, both using the new horseshoe magnet from Holo Taco, as well as using a bar style magnet. I agree with Holo Taco's color description for this shade. This is very much that cutesy pinky color that you see a lot this time of year, and the magnetic pigment is indeed a very pale pink. I did find for the scattered holographic in here, it's a very delicate holographic sparkle, not the kind of delicate in some of Holo Taco's other polishes where like you can barely see the holographic. I could very clearly see that there is indeed holo in here, but the magnetic pigment is going to be the star of the show. The holo just gives you like a really nice subtle twinkle on the nail. For my full hand swatches, my pointer finger is in 2 coats, my middle nail is in 3 coats with the velvet effect, and then my ring finger and pinky both show the polish in 3 coats again with the cat eye effect. I did use the Holo Taco Glossy Taco for all of my swatches for this release. I did find that the magnetic pull stayed really nicely for me for these. Nothing in here is going to dry down overly textured. 1 layer of top coat and you're going to be good. Removal is going to be fairly easy, but also on the more messy side. Because this one was so opaque, I will caution that this is probably going to be a potential stainer for some people. So if you're concerned about staining, double up on your base coat. The next polish up is called Lust in Translation, and Holo Taco describes it as a soft lilac purple linear holographic base with a silver magnetic pull. Lust in Translation also had a fantastic formula. This one was exactly as described. The information that I got from Holo Taco does not include that this also seems to have like a pinkish tone shimmer in here, but I was definitely picking up like the soft lilac-y base, but I was also seeing an additional pink shimmer. As someone who's not really the biggest fan of like pale purples, pastels in general, I love this. This was a stunning, really beautiful nail polish. I didn't find that the silver magnetic pigment overshadowed the linear holographic at all. If you really want to see the linear holographic pigment in here to like the max to the most amount, I feel like I'm saying that wording wrong, but I feel like you understand what I'm trying to say. I would recommend actually using the magnetization on this one in the cat eye effect. You're gonna get more of the base that way as opposed to the velvet effect, where you're gonna get that really strong, just like flash of the magnetic pigment, where I think if you really wanna see the linear holo, the cat eye is probably gonna do you better. Personally, I love this both ways. While I did find this to be another 1 coater, for my full hand swatches, it's gonna show it in 2 coats on my pointer finger, in 3 coats on my middle nail with the velvet effect, and then on my ring finger and pinky, both show again in 3 coats with the cat eye effect. For this particular polish, just like the others, I still prefer to get this opaque in 2 And then I added that third layer to do the magnetization. Do you have to do that? No, that's my personal preference on magnetizing. However, I do think because this one is so opaque, you might be able to be passable on just magnetizing your second layer and calling it from there. It's really just gonna come down to personal preference on these. And again, I found this magnetized super duper easily. Nothing in here is gonna dry down textured. Removal is gonna be fairly easy but messy if you choose to scrub this one off. As always, soak off method, peel off base coat, you're good. The next polish up is called Playing the Field, and Holo is describing this one as a magenta purple shimmer base with an aqua teal multi-chrome magnetic pull. Playing the Field also had a really great formula, but this one was definitely on the thicker side. I wouldn't go so far as to say that it desperately needed nail polish thinner like right then and there, but it was for sure on the thicker side. I was honestly wondering if my bottle was like still a little bit cold. I don't think it was, because I found it applied pretty easily, but like it was definitely on like the cusp of needing thinner. Despite this one being the thickest polish for me out of the entire collection, it somehow was one of the more sheer polishes in the release. This was one of the only polishes in this release I think that you're likely going to need those full 3 coats to reach full opacity. For my full hand swatches, I am showing this one in 2 coats on my pointer finger, and I realized when I was looking at my full hand swatches and moving my hand around, I could see a little bit of visible nailing with this shade in 2 coats on my pointer finger. For all my other nails, it shows it in 3 coats, and again, middle nails with the velvet effect, ring finger and pinkies with the cat eye effect. For Playing the Field, I think this is going to be another one of the 2 to 3 coaters depending on your own application style. If you can only afford to get one polish from this particular release and you want like the most color shifty goodness bang for your buck, I feel like Playing the Field is likely going to be the one that you're going to pick. This one has like, I was going to say all the color shifts. It doesn't have like every single color shift, but like it is very, very color shifty. I was seeing all of the described color shifts in person, so magenta, purple, teal, blue, you're getting all the things with this one. So again, Playing the Field is going to be another 2 to 3 coater depending on your own application style. Even though this one was on the thicker side, it still needs those coats to kind of build this one to get full opacity with it. Super duper easy removal, no issues with staining, but as always, double up on base coat if you're that concerned. Editing Nicole is going to be popping in because I could have sworn ILMP had a polish that looks exactly like this that they released last year.
Okay, here is a quick and dirty swatch of the Holo Taco shade compared to ILMP's Distorted. So the differences that I'm seeing in person is Distorted has more of like a fiery reddish orangey kind of shimmer, and the Holo Taco is more pink. But I wouldn't say like they're exact dupes because that shimmer is going to be the biggest color difference between them, but they are definitely pretty similar.
The next polish up is called Polar Opposites, and Holo Taco is describing this one as an icy aqua blue with a pale blue silver magnetic pull and an aqua green shimmer underglow. Polar Opposites also had a fantastic formula. This is another one of the more sheer polishes in this release, so you're likely going to want to, this is another one of the more sheer polishes in this release, so you're really going to want to build this one up in coats before you get to magnetizing. That is if you want the most opacity when you magnetize it. If you don't care about like opacity levels, you can magnetize the first coat if you really want, but why would you do more work? That's what gets me. I don't like, why would you do more work than necessary? I once again agree with the brand's color description for the shade. I did find for the aqua to green underglow, I was seeing a green to blue to aqua shade. Like I felt like there were like 3 very distinct colors in that underglow. I didn't find that the colors of the magnetic pigment at all kind of like overshadowed the underglow, but you're not going to see the underglow super well if you don't magnetize this shade. It's nearly invisible unmagnetized. You really see it more once you magnetize it. And I did find for both the velvet and the cat eye effects, I could very clearly see that underglow shimmer. As someone who's not really the biggest fan of icy polishes, I still really enjoyed this shade. This one does sheer out quite a bit once you magnetize it, so I would again recommend building this one up in 3 coats before you get to magnetizing, if you want the most opacity. Nothing in here is going to dry down textured. Removal is going to be super duper easy. No issues with staining. The next polish up is called Pretty Privilege, and Holo Taco describes this as a baby pink base with an icy pink magnetic pull and scattered holographic. Pretty Privilege also had a really fantastic formula. Because it is so light, I feel like it's likely going to sheer out quite a bit once you magnetize it, so I would once again recommend building it up in 3 coats. This is a really cute, dainty kind of shade. It definitely is reminding me of Pirouette. I'm drawing a blank on the full name of the polish that was in the advent calendar. It was Pirouette something. This is reminding me of like a magnetic sister to that shade. It's a really dainty and cute pink shade. I did not find the base to be overly thick or thin, 0 application issues, and again, it magnetized super duper easily both with the velvet effect as well as with the cat eye effect. The holographic in here is super duper delicate. Not so delicate that I couldn't see it, but again, the magnetic is for sure the star of the show. And again, and I do think that this one was also as described. This is definitely not a color that I would normally think that this is something that I would personally like, but it's such a cute and pink and dainty shade that I'm actually really liking it quite a bit. My fully in swatches show Pretty Privilege in 3 coats on its own, 3 coats with the velvet effect, and 3 coats with the cat eye effect. Removal is going to be super duper easy. I had no issues with staining. Okay, so final thoughts time. I'm fairly sure that this is the first like full magnetic collection Holo Taco has done since their first foray into magnetics, and they have definitely improved their magnetic formula. And I think these are a lot more beginner and intermediate friendly than their last foray into magnetic nail polishes. If you are a frequent viewer of this channel, you would know that I don't really care for winter collections.
Hate it, hate it, hate it.
The light and the dark for winter collections for me is always going to be the Valentine's Day releases. And for a Valentine's Day release, I think this is a really solid one. I feel like we have like a good amount of pink, a lacking in red, which I don't mind at all. And then we have like some other like non-traditional colors for Valentine's Day as well. Releases like this is what I really want from Holo Taco, so I'm really glad we're getting some really fun releases from the brand. As far as my personal top picks, I feel like I don't even need to say what my top picks are. Like I feel like y'all know. My personal top pick for this release is going to be Flirt Alert. It is pink on pink, and like this is what I wanted from magnetic polishes. I didn't want a pink base with silver magnetic. I wanted a pink base with pink magnetic pigment. That's what I wanted, and I'm so incredibly happy that in a month I've gotten 2 really, really, really good pink on pink magnetic nail polishes. My second top pick from this release is obviously going to be Sweetheart Taco. I am sure I am not the only one who was incredibly shocked and surprised that for 2025, Holo Taco's chunky glitter polishes were like some of their best performing nail polishes. I can't believe it. I'm very excited and happy because I'm going to keep bringing this up because I just want to remind people that of the nonsense that I was getting in my comment section. Y'all told me that it was not possible, that Holo Taco could not put chunky glitters in a nail polish because it wasn't possible, and lo and behold, they did. This is what, the 3rd time? So like, I still feel like I deserve an apology from y'all chuckleheads in the comment section who told me that it wasn't possible. When I told you it was indeed possible, they just weren't doing it. I still feel like I deserve an apology. Like, I feel like I had a lot of people telling me this nonsense, and I didn't get a single apology. Although those people are probably blocked.
That's right, I said it!
They might have gotten blocked. Yeah.
But anywho.
So yeah, Sweetheart Taco, definitely gonna be one of my other top picks from this release. I'm really, really happy with the one. I feel like, me personally, the only changes that I personally would make to Sweetheart Taco, I probably would have put like a really, really, really delicate holographic sparkle in here. But I acknowledge that I do too much sometimes, so maybe that would have been too much. I don't know. So as far as pricing and sale information goes, Holo Taco nail polishes are priced between $13 and $16.50 for specialty finishes. I'm fairly confident that Holo Taco's magnetic polishes are all priced at $16.50. The new horseshoe style magnet is going to be priced at $23, and there will be a bundle listing available if you want to pick up the entire release, and I would imagine there will be a bundle if you want to pick up the whole release plus the new magnet. Nothing in this release is considered limited edition, so it should be around for quite a while. I would love to know what everyone else thought of this release. Are you planning on picking up? Have you already picked it up? What are your thoughts on these magnetics? What are your thoughts on Holo Taco magnetics in general? That's an even better question. Also, what are your thoughts on chunky glitter? If you have the wrong answer, you might get blocked. I'm just kidding. Maybe. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give the video a big old like as well as leave a comment. It helps with the algorithm engagement of it all. Before we end today's video, I want to give a very special shout out to my channel members. Shenanigans, Story Fans, your names of course, all on the screen right now. If you would like to sign up for my channel memberships, there is a link for that in the description box, or you can click join next to the subscribe button. But as always, if you just like the vibes around here, just like the video, comment, share, subscribe, all the things. Greatly appreciated. If you really like the vibes on this channel, don't forget I have a Discord server where you can come hang out, talk to me, talk to people in the chat, all the things. We've got some nonsense happening over there. So just thank you all for joining for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a lovely week, folks, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
When I get high, I ain't looking at the clock, still ballin' like Brian. Yeah, I'm headed to the Bucks, then I'm ballin' like, yeah.